We're on.
You win some, you lose more.
Thursday night footy is here, as is the AFL Today Show for our Thursday night footy teams preview. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. I've got my boys here for round 4. We'll start off with Leo Mullaly, full of wings as usual, as is Marcus Bazzano. But we'll start off with Leo first. How you going?
Hello, good sir. How are you today?
Oh, this is very formal. Why are we so formal?
We're just knocking the mics. Feeling good.
Feeling good. The Hawks had the bye, so you're just chilling.
Bye.
Oh yeah, Essendon have the bye as well.
Consider that, yeah.
So you
let's
guys,
kiss.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you can if you want. Love is
I'm
love.
not going to say anything against that.
Yeah, that's all right. Marcus Bazzano here as well. You two just don't have to stress as much. Your teams aren't playing.
Yeah.
I know. It feels better going into a bye week with a win than a loss.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. This show is, of course, brought to you by Tab. I've been loving the AFL's missed by one market from Tab. It's absolutely awesome. I had Adam Saad the other week. He had 19 disposals, but it got a tick in my multi. We had Sicily the week before as well, so he had 19 disposals. A few other ones had 24. So if you're doing a same game multi, what are you doing if you're not with Tab? They will still pay you out as a winner if you miss by one. So download the Tab app today. What are you really gambling with? All right, another awesome show. As always, we're going to go through the 8 games, I believe, with the buys.
Yep.
Yeah, 8 game previews with best bets, with Tab, of course. We've got some stats. We go through the teams. We go through our tips. Then we have the big calls. Now, we have some interesting big calls.
I'm on one.
I don't know if you're on one. I'm
on one.
I'm in the host chair, so I get to decide.
I'm on one.
I might give you a half point, though. We'll see.
I just heard you gave me a half point, so...
Maybe not for last week, a few weeks ago, I reckon. And then we've also got what to keep an eye on this weekend in round 4 of the footy.
Supercoach?
Supercoach? Well, of course you've got to keep an eye on it. We love Supercoach.
You got to keep an eye on it.
But in that segment, I will not be mentioning Supercoach because I got roasted last week.
Good.
Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have we got the count, Marcus? He's never got it up.
I'm sorry, it's the same with the cricket show. The exact same thing.
5,000.
I bring it up. But we're doing pretty good. The soft count is 5.65.
That is unbelievable. So thank you very much for subscribing. Make sure you click that bell as well because you can get the notifications and it goes a long way for our channel.
Yep. Let's just fill it in with 30 seconds of noise.
I even thought I had it there.
An exact number, 5653.
5653. So we're still on the road to 10K before round 10, which is actually very doable. So make sure you hit that subscribe button because what was it, Leo? I think it was about 40 to 50% weren't subscribed.
64 last
64. That's way too high. So there's a lot of people watching our content at the moment and we just want you to hit that subscribe button. Also follow us on all the socials, AFL Today AU and Aussie Rules Today on Facebook. Lots of stuff. Literally, there's about 3 or 4 things going up on there every single day. We've got my cheat sheets going up there today. We've got some really cool videos with Grace Egan as well earlier in the week. So you can even check out our midweek madness show. That was good fun.
Well, she ranked Bont at 4. So who does she rank above Bont?
Find out.
We'll find out on the socials.
socials.
AFL Today AU. TikTok's going off on that one. We love that.
Yep.
All right. Just a reminder, we already mentioned about Hawthorn and Essendon have the bye. So let's get right into the round 4 previews, the game previews, lads. Friday night, we've already done the Thursday night game on the show during the week. So Friday night, I'm actually heading to this game down at the Cattery, which is very
Why would
weird.
you do that to yourself?
Oh, why not? It's been a bit of a night
Nice.
out. Why not? A few mates, they go for the Cats. I actually might go for the Demons. The Cats supporters at the Cattery are so biased, but it is Geelong versus Melbourne.
That would make sense.
You can say Ferrell if you want to.
Ferrell, the seats are too close. It's cold. It's windy.
Too close? As in to the ground?
No, to the person you sit next to. You're very intimate down at Geelong, but that's okay. Geelong versus Melbourne, Friday night, 7:40 at GMHBA Stadium. We're going to go through the teams as we always do. Leo's fired up for once, so I will give him Geelong first.
Tom Stewart's in, Stats Guy. Tom Stewart's in, along with Sean Manna from Heaven, Mitch Nevitt managed, and Jai Clark omitted. Will Tom Stewart play, lads? Yes or no?
Is it going to be another bloody... Chris Scott can't keep getting away with this.
He can't keep going away with it. He's done it again.
I think he will because...
Well, don't you cop a fine every, if it's laid out within a certain time frame from the game, you cop a fine?
I didn't even know that. You might be right though.
It used to be the case.
No, you might be right.
Never heard that before in my entire life. It's a good Cats team though. Bailey Smith's in there roaming around. Got there eventually.
Roaming
around. Max Holmes, Tommy Atkins also listed on board with Paddy Dangerfield. This is a big game for Jezza though. Can he step up a few quiet weeks?
Yeah, he usually has a bit of a slump. I don't know if you've seen that about Jesse. He does have like a little slumps, but not usually at the start or the end. It's usually in the middle when he's getting a bit bored. He just wants to go back to his farm. But I think he can have a big game.
He hits form right at the perfect time.
Usually, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's not too bad. I really love this team. I don't know about Danger starting in the middle because they've been playing him
here we
forward.
go.
Oh, here we go.
Stop
Where the
obsessing
lineups
over where the
are.
lineups are.
No, but
how many times do we have to tell you?
I just wanted to start a discussion. Where would you play Dangerfield was my next question. I'll be playing him forward. He kicked 2 goals
and
last
he'll
week.
probably play for
70-30 forward.
Yeah.
And
Because he's
it'll
good forward.
probably happen.
For a midfielder, he's a very good forward. That's all right. I was just wanted a discussion, lads. It's all good. Come
And you
nerves.
got one.
And I got one. Thank you. Well, for 30 seconds.
Never again.
Never again. Melbourne, what do we got?
Yeah, there's actually
Team.
quite a few changes for Melbourne. 4 changes. Jack Billings omitted, along with Aiden Johnson, Blake Howes, who are also omitted. And sad to see Xavier Lindsay, obviously, with that knee injury.
Yeah, true. I
Missed
forgot
out and goes out injured. Feel bad for Supercoach people because me, like many other people, brought in Lindsay
I know.
and traded out Harvey Langford.
The Supercoach curse.
And then Harvey Langford played well. Lindsay got injured. So that's a big miss. But comes in Caleb Windsor. Cozzy Pickett back in. That's a
huge in from
huge
his,
in for the Demons.
his suspension, obviously. Yeah. The dirty man.
Daniel Turner and Charlie Spargo as well. He's a very good squad player.
100th game for Spargo.
There you go.
How the hell is Charlie Spargo played 100 games?
How old is
Sorry.
he? How old is he?
Sorry, Charlie, if you're watching, but come on.
He is a good squad
Leo would
player.
agree with me on that one. He said that.
He's a good role player.
100 games.
25.
Mate,
He's
Luke
25.
McDonald's played over 200
Hey,
games.
yeah.
Luke McDonald is a worse
Yes.
footballer than Charlie Spargo.
Poor. Right now he is.
They're
But
all
not in his
Gen-
career.
Yes,
What?
career. I can't. Spargo's won a flag. Luke McDonald's. I don't think he's won a one-on-one contest.
Oh, he used to be good.
All right, back to Melbourne. Melbourne.
He had that 1 year where he was so good.
Yeah, he was really good in Supercoach. Yeah.
Well, anyways, that rounds out the Melbourne team, but they just need goals. They're just not kicking a
I think-
winnable score.
Yeah, there's a few guys that need to fire up. Max gone, for one.
Yep.
I know he's had some troubles off field, so feel for him there, but he needs to fire up. Christian Petracca, stop concentrating on your cooking. Like, I know you almost died last year, but we need him to he needs to get just more influence. He's still getting the touches. He's still getting a few goals.
He's playing too much forward because he's unfit.
Yeah, so even if he plays forward, I just want to see a bit more impact, a bit more charging at the contest from him. And I think Melbourne can. Do we think they can keep it close? I don't know.
I don't think so, but they just need Jake Lever and Stephen May to stay fit together
Is this
in
their
the
first
same
game
team.
together?
They're not playing. Jake
Oh,
Lever's
still
not
not
playing.
playing. Still not playing.
Still not playing. 'Cause, yeah, when
we
they're
did just
fit-
go through the team, so I should know that.
Yeah, he could look at the team. Talking about some other stats in this one,
Ooh.
Melbourne have actually lost their last 7 matches in Victoria. So that's not good for the D's fans. Maybe that's why they're not rocking up, D's
Losing
fans.
is
As a
good.
club called Melbourne, that is not a good start.
No, that is not great. 3 of the last 5 meetings, though, have been decided by 2 goals or less. Obviously, Melbourne are in their worst form in about 5 years or more. So that's not ideal. No, probably more because they won the flag. So maybe about 7 years. They're the worst form in about 7 years. So that's not ideal. Let's have a look at the odds. Thanks to Tab, of course. Geelong, $1.20. Heavy favourites down at the category as usual. Melbourne, $4.50 after their big defeats. It's actually their worst start to the season since 2019. So D's fans are really worried. I don't think there's going to be many travelling down the highway to see them. My best bet in this one is a player multi. Bailey Smith, Baz Lenker, and Max Holmes, 25 plus disposals each. That's $2.40. Now, Baz, he's had 25 plus disposals in his last 7 matches against the D's. He loves playing against Melbourne. Holmes, he had 29 last game, and I think he's going to be really fit against this Melbourne team that really unfit. Other than Clary, he looks back, but so much of the other team aren't going too well there. So $2.40, that's my best bet. Little player multi there. All right, lads, tips and margin. Let's get through it. Who do we think? Who's going to win? Surely there's only one winner in this one.
Yeah.
Cats 33, lock it in.
Cats by 33.
You know what? I'll join you. Cats 33.
Cats by 33. Should I just say Cats by 33?
Yeah, let's do it.
Should we put an exact margin bet? No, don't do that. Get Gamba response. My mate used to do that and he's won some money, but don't do that.
No,
do that.
don't.
Cats by, I'm going to say 28. I think it will be reasonably close first half and then they'll crumble away and they look a bit unfit, D's, in the second half.
Yeah.
All right. Next one, that was Friday night. Let's go to the best game of the weekend, I'm calling
Yes.
it.
This is a very
This is
good
the best game of the
It's
round.
a tasty matchup for
100%.
2 rising teams. We've got Gold Coast versus Adelaide Saturday at People's First Stadium. 120, that is. On the Gold Coast, so they'll be licking their lips. Their first home game of the season. Obviously, they went 9-3 last season, and they've actually won 9 of their last 10 games at home. So they'll be really excited to play at People's First Stadium. Teams, we'll start with you, Mike Oza. Gold Coast.
They've actually broken that curse a little bit because they've won 4 straight away from home as well. So
Yes.
they want to return home,
They're back.
get a win, and they'll look to do so with Nick Holman being omitted and Ben Ainsworth coming back into
I don't
the
mind a
side.
bit of Ainsworth.
Yeah, he's always like a 15 disposal,
Gets
1
a
or 2 goal
Yeah,
operator.
yeah.
He's a very
well
good
worth
player.
it.
Yep.
And they're in good form. So they're one of 4 teams to have not yet lose a game this season.
Yeah.
And so why change a winning formula too much?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm looking forward to Gold Coast on the weekend. Expecting big things.
I'm looking forward to a bit of Bailey Humphrey. Everyone's bringing him in Supercoach, but
I brought him in.
He's been in
Okay,
awesome
I did
form.
that.
Ben Long's been in really good form, but
say
obviously
that.
Ben King has been really good as well. The Adelaide side, please.
Adelaide side, Luke Nankervis and Lockie Murphy come in for Joshua Shalley and Matt Crouch.
That
who
is
has
not
been
good ins and
managed.
outs.
Matt
Luke
Crouch managed.
Nankervis has been tearing it up in the Sandful, though.
Oh,
Deserves his chance.
Big sample man.
Big Sandful man, obviously, up Norwood.
Was that the only team that clocked in your head?
No, because Paul Wobbelow played there and came from there.
Oh, there you go.
They've got a little soft spot in my heart.
I love
Norwood.
Poppy.
Love Norwood.
Bring Poppy back.
Lockie Murphy, though, I know a lot of Crows fans don't really like him too much.
Nah, I'm not a fan.
Every sort of game they lose and he plays, the comments are like, why is Lockie Murphy in the team?
Who
So-
was a fan favourite? Was it
Lukey Pedler? Where's Lukey Pedler?
He's not even an emergency, mate. So I think he's looking like being the fan favourite for Deer Park next year.
Oh, they pay a lot of cash, Deer Park.
like Keilor,
That
that's
won't
what
be
he's
too bad.
doing.
Keilor, maybe. No, Keilor's can't pay anyone anymore. That's another podcast. That's a local footy podcast.
Local today.
we could do that, but yeah, that wouldn't be going
It's
too
a good Adelaide team, this. Just I love their midfield. They got so many dudes that they can just roll through there who
Yep.
are just classy on
Solly
the outside.
Goats.
Solly Goat, Peatling, Dawson, Shoal running down a wing.
I love Lockie Shoal.
You got Keys, you got Rankin, you got the desk, Rory Laird.
Well, you know who I've been a little bit disappointed by?
Peatling.
Isaac Cumming.
Yeah,
Is he coming or
he's-
going? What's he doing?
I think he's
GWS.
going. He has not got enough of the ball.
Maybe just working into a new club, new environment.
Yeah, no, but there have been players that have fit that. Like Neil Bullen's been really good for Adelaide so far.
Well, it's different for every person. Like you look at, say, when I don't know, off the top of my head, Ginnivan coming to Hawthorn, it kind of flourished for him in that environment. It's not going to be the same for everyone.
yeah.
That's true. True. A few more stats in this one. The home team has actually won the last 6 meetings. And as I mentioned before, Gold Coast love playing at home. It was a 9-3 record last season. But the big one. I think this is going to be an absolute shootout. We said Gold Coast, not Gold Coast, Adelaide North last week was going to be a shootout. Probably was slightly underwhelming, still a decent game. But this one is they're both top 4 on the ladder and both number 1 and number 2 in offense so far this season. Both averaging over 128 points
That's
so far.
ridiculous.
I know it's a small sample size.
They've also played some weaker sides.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
I don't care who you're playing. If you're scoring over 130, that's a bloody good effort.
It is.
And
what
you
about-
actually, you said weaker sides. One of them was against St Kilda. And you said they're really
pretty
good.
I said
Oh,
Yeah.
this is revenge from the cricket show.
No, I wasn't even having a go. I'm just
I'm
wanted to put it out
biting
there.
my tongue because I don't want to explain my point because it would be
Interesting.
pedantic.
What don't we
enough.
show some love to Adelaide with their crazy stat, if you remember it?
Ooh, what is this?
stats, man.
I can't remember. Oh,
They
yes.
have won.
I forgot to write it down.
They are one of just 2 teams in VFL, AFL history
Yes.
to win all 12 quarters from the opening 3 games to start a season.
That's a bloody good effort.
That's wacky.
And it was led by a team coached by Matthew Nix. So make that make sense.
That doesn't make any sense. Talking about things that actually these things make sense. The odds from Tab: Gold Coast $1.74 head to head. Adelaide at $2.10. My best bet in this one, you got to look at Ben King. He's one of the best forwards, other than Suvalaki, in my opinion. I'm looking at him for 3+ goals. That's $2.20 with Tab. He averages 2 goals against Adelaide, but he's in career best form. He's got 10 goals in 2 games to start the year. Crows, they're not the best at covering the talls. They're really good at covering our smalls. I say our north smalls last week. Suva still got a bag of 4. So I think King for 3 goals is a really safe bet, $2.20. George Yardy's cost me last week with his 3. He sprayed a few. But Ben King, I think he can kick at least 3. He's getting a lot of scoring shots. All right, tips and margin, lads. That's the bets. Let's go to tips and margin. Marcus, who are you going?
I'm going to go to the Suns, and I'm going to go handsomely, just because there's a couple of these changes. Obviously, Rochelle and Crouch out. They're pretty big outs. And Matt Crouch being managed is a little bit concerning. But I think the Suns at home win this semi-convincingly. I'll go 30 points.
30 points. Jeez, I don't know about that. Leo?
Suns by 17 just because of the home ground advantage. Can we all in unison do the Suns trumpet?
No.
I didn't do that in unison with you, but it was
A little bit offbeat.
Yeah, I'll work on that. I'll get a trumpet. We get a trumpet for gather
For
round.
gather round.
Actually, no,
Yeah.
we're
So we
we're
let the
playing
people know we're actually going to gather round. Have we done that?
We are going to gather round. We will
We
all
are,
be
yeah.
there. So
I don't know
if you want to do some content with us, we'll be roaming around Rundle Mall a lot as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
check us out at gather round. Why not?
Just don't run
Will
up
be very
behind
fun.
us. It's a bit A bit sketchy.
Bit sketchy, yeah. That's probably a good point. That's probably a very good point. I'm going to go Suns by 12. I think this is going to be pretty close. It's going to be a shootout, goal for goal the whole game. But again, I think if Adelaide win this, they prove to us they're the real deal because
if Adelaide win this, they're winning the flag.
This is one of the hardest away trips in footy.
Yep.
But I don't think they will. So I'm going to go Suns
Well, they have
by 12.
spiked as premiership favourites compared to where they were at the start of the season.
Yep, that is very true.
So we'll see if they can back it up.
Let's see if they can back it up. That's a good point. All right. I said the best game of the round. Let's get to one of the worst. There's some cool stats to back up this. This could be a good game, but but recent history suggests that it's not. Richmond versus Brisbane, Saturday, 4:15 at the MCG. This could be a bloodbath, but you never know. You never know. It's the battle of the cats.
Well, the Tigs did beat the Swans at the G around this point last season.
Yep.
But yeah, this is a different Tigers team, and
Brisbane haven't lost in 8 games. I think it is. They're on fire since the
are.
flag. So
They are.
the teams, lads. Leo, you can do Richmond. The mighty Richmond.
The mighty Tigs.
In comes the cash man, Sammy Banks, out for Ryan Mansell, who got suspended. I'm looking at this Richmond team. There's one thing that's standing out to me. They're the only team that has so many players in their best 22 that have numbers in the 40s. It is ridiculous. Get some lower numbers. What are we doing here?
You have to be good to have a low number, though.
They've got 44, 41, 48, 49, 40, 46, 43.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. They got 50 as an emergency. 50. What are we doing here?
I
Just
agree.
filling out the bingo card.
This is ridiculous. And that's why I don't like Richmond's team.
They're waiting for
That's a good
Collingwood.
point.
They're waiting for Collingwood after tonight when they go in the
Don't-
rooms and play some bingo.
Don't you agree,
maybe.
though? Like, there's just something about, like...
No, I agree.
feel
That if your team is having a lot of 40s, you're just not going to be. You're not good, obviously.
You're not going to be competitive.
No. But it is a weird thing to say, but footy fans will understand.
And they also have a 30, a 31, a 34. Like, I could just sit here and read their numbers.
Yeah, let's not do that.
35.
I wanted you to read out
It's a joke. Nah, Ben Miller plays his 50th game down back. He was 46 last year. Now he's number 12. So
That's better, but he doesn't
Right.
deserve a number 12.
No,
That's
he
my
doesn't.
favourite.
Tastes like promotion.
that tastes like promotion. Very
That's
good.
my number 12. usually.
Overall,
No one cares,
it's
mate.
not. It's
Better than him reading out numbers.
it's not an exciting team, but I do like the look of what Seth Campbell has brought this year. I think he's been very creative,
awesome.
up in the forward line.
Best
Love his
celebrator.
celebrations,
Gymnastics.
yes.
Yep.
And I want Sammy Lawler to do well. Like,
Yep.
he
He's a
burst
good
onto
player.
the scene
Yep.
against Carlton. He sort of drifted. You'll get that with the younger guys, but I really want him to do well because when he played against the Blues, I loved watching it.
enough. Yeah.
Bring more of it.
I agree.
I love watching it for different reasons too.
Yep.
Good job.
Hashtag Bond sponsorship. That's a joke. I think Marcus needs a Bond sponsorship as well
was a
when he
joke,
walks
by the
around the
way.
office.
Yeah, he does this show Commando.
Yeah. Anyway, Marcus, the Brisbane team, please.
Yeah, a couple of changes for Brisbane. Darcy Fort gets omitted, and obviously Kai Lohman, he got that pretty bad knock early in the game.
Yep.
He goes out with the injury. Big O comes back
I
in
love
with the
the Big O.
side. Oscar McInerney.
Darcy Fort's one of the best, second ruckman, I reckon.
He is,
He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
really good player.
for sure.
And the Big O's not that much, he's
Well,
good.
he's a premiership player, Darcy
Yeah,
Ford.
exactly right. And he was really good in the granny.
Well, yeah, because who was it? Chris Fagan who gave the medal to
Big O, yeah.
I was
Oscar
going to
McInerney,
say,
yeah.
Darcy Fort.
Do you reckon afterwards he's just like, hey, mate, I just did that for show. Can I get a
I did it for the cameras.
Also, I'm still on the thing that if you play over a certain amount of games, you should be getting a medal.
Would you give up as, say if you're Darcy Fort, would you give your premiership medal to
No.
Big O?
No.
What about if you're Chris Fagan?
No.
Like Chris Fagan?
No.
Maybe because coach is different. No, coach is different, but no, if I was a player, no way. I think they should just make more medals.
I think if you play 10 games, you deserve them.
because
deserve it.
even if you play
fair.
5 games, you're helping towards the overall
What if you play
finish.
5 games but you lose all 4 of them?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe you have
I
to
mean,
win.
like,
You have to
yeah,
win
a
5
win ratio of 5.
Win ratio of
Let's
5.
get too techie.
Yeah.
A few more stats in this one. Brisbane, they haven't beaten Richmond at the MCG since 2009, but they haven't played that many times there.
I was 9
7
years
or 8,
old.
I think.
You were 9 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so young.
Unreal.
What were you, like
I was
28?
No, I was 11.
I was even younger.
Yeah, you were younger probably. Brisbane as well. They don't like playing at the G. They've lost to the Hawks a few times there in
We have a
recent
good
years.
record against them.
4-16 in their last 20 games at the MCG, which is a bit of a worry, but they won on the big stage, the granny, so they
They
won't worry
won
about that
the
stuff.
one that mattered, and also the one that lost the one that mattered the year before. But
Exactly.
yeah.
Don't worry.
You get the vibe.
Yeah, great work, mate. Let's get into the odds with Tab. Richmond are $9, heavy underdogs in this one, even though it's at the MCG. Brisbane are $1.06 in the head-to-head markets there. My best bet is a player market, bit of a multi with Cam Rayner, 15 plus disposals and to kick a goal. That's $2.05. Rayner, he's had 15 plus disposals in his last 4 games at the MCG. He loves lighting up in his hometown. He loves playing at the MCG. And he has 21 goals in his last 18 games. So I just need him to hit his averages and he can get that that best bet for this one. All right, lads. We don't need to touch on this anymore because this game could be a stinker, but I hope Richmond fire up. Tips and margin, please, Marcus.
Yeah, well, last time these two sides met, Brisbane won by 119 points.
Yes.
And it could be a very similar margin again. Although I'm not going to go as harsh this time. I'm going to go 75 points.
Ooh, that's still a lot.
Still a big
I
margin.
like it.
What are you going? You like it?
Lions 67. I reckon I just got a feeling Josh Dunkley kicks 3 goals.
Oh,
that's my
a random.
surprise of the round in
Yeah.
the graphic we did.
He pops up.
Be cool.
Yeah.
What do you think, Stats Guy?
Oh, thanks, mate. Good little passed over there.
Segue.
No, I was trying not to say segue.
He's got to stop saying. He leads me to say it.
He does.
I was having a giggle there.
It's my kryptonite.
My mind was just racing. Lions by 49. I think the Tigers are just going to try and make this a scrap, and it's not going to be like a massive blowout.
Such a big ground though.
Yeah, I know, but
Lions, like they love to just find that uncontested mark.
But they
I
just
get what
don't
you
play
mean.
well there. So I
Yeah.
just don't think it's going to be 100 plus or 75.
Yeah, you know,
so.
you've convinced me. I'm going to say like 57.
Nah, yeah, you what, changed by 10 points. Whoa. Anyway,
on the run
we have
sheet.
talked too much about that game. Actually, before we get into the rest of the games, let's have a break with Tab.
Tonight's game's going to be epic.
Missed by one on the AFL? With Tab, you can stay in the game. Miss by one on any disposals leg, and Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Tab. We're on.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.
All right, let's get back into the show. North Melbourne versus Sydney, the big clash at Marvel Stadium Saturday night, 7:35. I'm very excited for this one as a North fan. This is going to be an interesting one. I wasn't there, but the North Melbourne versus Sydney a few years ago at Marvel, where North ballsed it up because we had too many interchanges, and we did the most simple thing ever.
Jeez, look at the vein in the neck. That's the first time I've ever seen it.
We should have been Sydney, and everyone would have been like, what the hell? That's one of the biggest upsets ever. This one, I think we do have a chance, but I'm a little bit worried. So let's go through the teams. We'll go Marcus, or who wants to go North?
You do North.
Oh,
it's your team.
I'll
Do
go
North.
I'm a bit nervous. I'll do North. I'll
a bit
do North.
nervous.
I'm a bit nervous, but I'm actually excited with these ins.
He's
because
nervous reading out the team.
I'm nervous about North in general, mate. We'll start off with the Logie Bear, Griffin Loga.
Like-
Mate, that's his nickname, yeah. I've said that on the show before, but you don't
just
listen
don't
to me.
listen.
That's right. Logie Bear, I'm glad he's back. He's a little bit better than Toby Pink, even though Toby Pink is
He's a
vibes
lot
man.
better than Toby Pink.
I'm joking. He's a good lockdown defender. He can take a few intercept marks. We've got Matt Whitlock is the other in. Obviously a debutant. Very excited
Get
for him.
excited,
I'm
Stats
very
man.
excited for him. He had 27 disposals in the VFL last week. We literally took him controversially.
Is there a bit of pressure on him?
A lot of pressure because there was a bit of controversy when we did the draft show, Leo, that you were going, oh, that's the worst pick ever. But he'll be a Jet.
No, I'm not bagging him as a
No,
pick.
no, no.
I'm bagging the deal that you did to get him.
But personally, in the long run, I'm happy we got a tall because our talls are really bad.
He's
So
a bit lightly built, isn't he?
yeah, he's a bit of a wiry customer.
Why we? What?
Wiry.
Oh, why we?
Oh, and Wiley. You always say Wiley. But yeah, the overall team I'm pretty happy with. I think the likes of Sheezel needs to step up.
Yes, 100%.
Just a little bit because
Different
he hasn't
role.
been too well. Simpkin has been one of our best players. I think he's been underrated. He's been awesome this season. And I think a few other players like Jack Darling. I can't believe I've been.
Can't believe
I'm
you've-
actually
yeah,
loving him.
same.
And also,
Told
this
ya.
is the Luke Parker Cup. Obviously against his old
yes.
team, old Luke
That's
Parker
very
Bowl.
true.
And Constanti.
And Constanti.
Constanti,
So those
yeah.
two will be really excited. I almost said fired up. I need to stop saying that. They need to
Fired up.
No, I'm not going to say that. They need to just get going against this team, against their old team. So they'll be excited for that.
Show them what they're missing out on.
Exactly right. You can go the Sydney team, Marcus, if you got it up.
All right, well, Alex will probably be a little bit disappointed. Papley's out injured. And
Yeah.
obviously you two have a sandwich bet going on in the office of
Oh,
the
you do?
winner.
Me and Alex and myself do because we usually have a
winner?
sandwich bet.
Nice.
And why not? They've got a few injuries.
And you always typically lose
No.
them though, so that's a bit crap. But
Yeah. No, I've won a few random sandwich bets, but not in the footy.
Well, Papley out, obviously injured.
Yep.
In comes Caden Cleary. So
Who had the controversy
Controversy.
in the off season, and he's back in. Controversy in the off season.
Yes.
But we don't have to touch on that.
But yeah, we've got
I think it's a lot of the B players of Sydney.
Yeah.
You know, probably need to step up a little bit more.
Yep.
We're talking about the likes of Ollie Florent. I think he probably needs to be a little bit better. Wicks, even Lloyd.
Wicks has been good, I reckon.
Lloyd and Rampy to an extent.
You know who needs to step up, especially against his opponent? Brody Grundy needs to step up.
Oh, 100%.
Like Jerry's been
Big
Yeah.
game for Grundy, yeah.
very, very good.
The only thing I'm worried about with Cherry is he was injured last week.
doubt.
And like
still,
multiple
he was still
injuries.
very like he probably was like beating Rob.
It was
like,
about even.
It was about
yeah,
even.
yeah.
But like Grundy hasn't been his best.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jerry at Marvel could
dominate
just
it,
service the North mids a little bit more than Grundy
Imagine
can.
if Grundy comes out with a helmet just to
Hey,
try
he
and
can't
intimidate
keep
him.
his hair in.
Oh yeah, true. He's got the bun. There's no helmets that are fitting that bun.
A special cutout for the bun.
Yeah, maybe.
That's gotta be a
few-
fine.
Or just get rid of it because
That's
it's
gonna be
horrendous.
fine.
It is horrendous. The unicorn they call him. A few more stats in this one. Sydney has actually won their last 12 away matches against North.
That doesn't surprise me.
That is not a good stat. You could have a lot of teams that have won their last 12 away matches.
Well, they won
against
the
North.
last 8 in general.
They have won the
against
last
North.
8 in general as well. Yep, there we go. I wrote down here there was plenty of big outs for a few teams. There was the rumour that Cherry would be out, but I'm very glad as a North fan that he's playing. A few people in the office were getting rid of him in their Supercoach teams.
What are you doing?
I know, just wait till
Name and
it's-
shame.
I can't remember who it was, but there was a few people. But not happy about that. Just
Not
keep him
happy.
in. Just it'll be all right. I think I need to get TDK in though, because Cherry and TDK
Not starting him
yeah.
has cooked me.
Yeah, but that's a different chat. Looking at the odds with Tab, we've got North Melbourne, only slight underdogs, $2.45. Sydney are the favourites at $1.55. Now, my man, he is the Marvel Stadium specialist. He's lifted his game this year. Paul Curtis is my best bet. Paul Curtis, 2+ goals, $2.05. He's got 8 goals in his 3 games this season. He's really built his accuracy and his confidence. He's having shots from everywhere and been kicking some awesome goals. He had his career most 20-something disposal the other week. At Marvel, under the roof. He loves the clean conditions. If he stays in the forward line, Clarko should just tell him to play deep. When he plays up high, he's not going to get the goals, but I think he's going to get those 2+ very easily against the Swans. All right, lads. Tips and margin. I'm very nervous for this one.
Just quickly, this might be a big call, but
Yeah.
I think Paul Curtis is slowly becoming one of the best small forwards in the competition.
Okay.
No, I don't know about the best because he's very lazy, but
He is one of the best.
No. He doesn't pressure.
From
No.
what I've seen,
But he has the ability to. He is so
Very
strong
good.
for his size. He's called bench
He's
press.
very
Well, this
good
season so far,
He's
at the
very
very
good
least.
in a one-on-one. He's a very good kick for goal, but
He's a
to
very
be
good
the
crummer
best,
as well.
to be the best small forward, you have to be putting some defense, not even
bit more,
defensive
yeah.
tackling,
Yep.
running.
No, and he needs some
doesn't run
consistency
defensively.
because last year he'd have like a game of 3 or 4 goals, then he'd do nothing.
I don't think he's there yet.
No, but
but he can be.
I don't mind the
even
recognition.
know. I think
for
this
him.
is his seal. I don't think he can get there.
Oh, you reckon? I think he.
He hasn't shown
We'll find
anything about being a pressure forward. Why would he start now?
No, but you.
Yeah.
There's lots of forwards that have.
Prove me
great-
wrong, Curtis. Prove me wrong.
I don't
Or
think
as the
I'm
North fans say, come on, PC.
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 Exactly. PC.
Every time
Bench
I
press.
get it, you hear PC.
His nickname's Bench Press.
That's horrendous.
I'm excited to see some of the matchups. I'm excited to see Braden Campbell. I love watching him in person. And be interesting to see if Joel Amadi can fire up. Because
He probably will against
I don't
North.
rate him at all, but he probably will against North. Tips, Leo.
Swans by 20. I just don't know if the Roos have the class, but I think Marcus disagrees.
I do disagree because previous meetings between these sides, we mentioned the Swans have won the last 8, but only 2 of those have been more than 14 points or 14 points or more.
No, we've had a lot of
So
close
they've been
games,
close
yeah.
games.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be another close one. And why not? Look, North Melbourne to beat Sydney. This is their
getting
chance.
excited over there.
This
He's
is their
getting a little
chance.
bit excited.
Sydney injuries. North look like they've taken another step this season. And screw it. I'm going to go North Melbourne by 9 points.
Hell yeah, Marcus.
Do
I
it.
couldn't.
Do you have the faith with me?
I love that pick. Like, that's a good pick.
You saying
That's a
hell
great pick.
You saying hell yeah has just put me off this
But
show.
I want to win the footy tipping competition.
Hell yeah, Marcus. Hell yeah, bro.
I was taking the P155, but that's okay. Swans by 20. I want to win the tipping competition. Unfortunately, I've had too much pain to tip the Roos.
That's what I said. Are you just taking my tip?
I was going to say 15, but I'm up to 20 now because I agree with you, Leo. Swans by 20. I'm a little bit worried. I think
Get some cojones.
we're just not there yet to beat those big teams, and Swans.
They'll never be there to beat them.
We will.
I
But
don't know, it's just
I
that
think that we got a
vibe.
chance. We got a chance.
It's the only game on the Saturday night, under the roof,
We've had this is our
home
sec-
crowd.
Yeah.
I think it's just built for it.
I'd love to see them win.
I think we
but
got
I
a
don't know
big
if they
chance.
will.
I think it'll be really close, but it's just one of those games where they run away late, and I think the Swans will win by about 3 goals or so.
Interesting.
So,
Not
we'll see.
bad.
All right, lads. Sunday now. Let's get into it. Another big game.
Is it?
Oh, there was a bit of silence there.
Big sound?
Big
There'll
sound.
be a big sound. Yeah, there was a big game, though.
I think there definitely will be. GWS versus West Coast Sunday 1:10 at NG Stadium.
Hang on. I want to apologise before
Oh,
because
why?
I just want to apologise because
So absolutely not. Oh, sorry.
no, lads. I had a meeting with another podcast, and they're interested in me, and they're actually offering me a lot more money. So do I?
You're
go?
gone, mate. You're gone.
As captain of this show,
Name and shame him.
You're not the captain, so you can.
Sense Footy podcast.
Leo, you're not the captain, so you can do what you want.
Oh, there we go.
There you
So,
But
for a bit
Leo,
of context,
that is one of Leo's best bits.
I think they understand.
clip that
the
up.
context.
Joe. We got a segment coming on our YouTube. Leo's best bits.
It goes-
It's a compilation.
It goes for 30 seconds. That was actually pretty good. So, for context, for people who haven't seen it over the last couple of days, Oscar Allen, he met up with the enemy. Sam Mitchell.
He's coming.
Obviously the coach of the Hawks. He met up with Sam Mitchell last week before the derby of all games to possibly move to the Hawks.
Was it before or after?
I think it was before. Oh, no, sorry. Was it after?
That doesn't matter. He still met with him.
Anyway, I personally think that is an absolute joke.
And he publicly apologised.
He publicly apologised.
bad.
That was
Why
a bit
do you need to
awkward.
apologise?
But if you're the captain of a footy club, that shows that you're committing to them for a long time and that the fans want to love you. They're there for you. You're there for the fans. You're not there for the fans. If anyone else, if Liam Ryan said at Hawks, doesn't matter. You shouldn't be doing that as a captain.
I think it's
agreed.
I don't think it matters. It's a business. People do that.
No, but I think because he's apologised, and if he still does move to Hawthorn, that's even worse than not apologising. In my
but it's
in my opinion.
he can't win now.
he can't win.
no,
And
that's
he
stupid.
can
That's what I'm
win if he
saying.
stays. If he stays.
This is woke nonsense at its finest. Who cares? It's like if our
what club do you support again?
Hawthorn.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, if you went to Brisbane, it's the same. It's the same
No,
stance.
but like you would be mad if Sicily met with Collingwood.
Obviously, I'd be like, oh, I want Sicily to stay, and that sucks. Like, why is he doing that? But like, you got to understand, it's a business. It's the business.
I know.
No,
but
I couldn't agree. Sorry, I couldn't.
Disagree less.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
at least wait until last 2 weeks of the season. 2-3 weeks. You're going and talking to another club in the first 5 weeks of the year.
Yeah. But
Anyway,
crap.
we've touched on that for I think about 2 of our 4 allotted minutes that we
Yeah.
usually do. So
the teams.
let's get into the actual teams. Oh yeah, we got to do the teams. Leo, give me
Let's just name 'em.
some big sound. Giants team, please.
Riccardi, Callum Brown, and Toby McMullen come in. No outs because it's the extended bench.
What happened to Callum Brown?
He
was really good.
He's a bit
like
inconsistent.
2
I
years
reckon.
ago. Oh, I
Yeah,
really
he's a
like
bit
him.
inconsistent.
Yeah, just got to
Same
work
as
on that.
Riccardi.
You know?
I really like Riccardi. Came from my footy club, but
Be interesting. I don't know if they'll play when you've got Cadman, Hogan,
Yeah.
Stringer.
their forward line is so good.
They need
Yeah,
more from
pretty
Stringer
tall.
though. He was poor against us. He was very
His
poor.
skin fold's
Yeah.
good though.
Well, you'd hope so with his contract.
With his contract, yeah.
But look, this is a strong Giants side. We know that. I think last week you can't really read too much into it. With that breeze, they probably got outplayed in the end. But
Tough game, yeah.
Tough
Yeah.
game. You move on, and this West Coast side they should beat.
Yes, the West Coast side, Marcus.
Well, they should. There's a lot to name in this West Coast side. So out goes, and they're big outs as well. Jerry McGovern out
boy.
injured. Liam Ryan
Oh, boy.
out with an
No.
illness. And Elijah
They're
Moore,
young gun.
Oh my
who was
God.
also
That is
out
grim.
injured.
I'm going to change my tip.
They are some of the worst
That's
outs.
a good one.
Worst outs of the round.
Just being serious.
Obviously, there's more than 3 in these ins because it's the extended bench, but you've got Sandy Brock, Harvey Johnson, Tom Gross, Clay Hall, Locke Rawlinson, and Hamish Davis
What are
coming
these
to the
names?
side. 3 of which are in line for their debut if they get named.
Oh,
They
that's
are
a-
Sandy Brock, Tom
You know,
Gross,
Sandy
and
Brock
Hamish
was on
Davis.
Gold Coast list for a bit.
That is a great name. Sandy Brock.
He was also on Home and Away.
It sounds like it. Yeah,
like
yeah,
Sandy
he
Brock.
does. It sounds like a cartoon character. Same as Tom Gross and Hamish Davis.
Yes.
There's a lot of guys with 2 first names going on here. Well, 2 last
Gross.
names. Yeah, not Gross. Clay Hall. Yeah, no, maybe not.
Rawlinson.
Yeah.
I love Rawlinson. That guy.
As if I'm really liking a bit of Ryan Marich though. He's
Mate,
been
no
really good.
McGovern.
He has been very
Marek
good.
has been good.
Marek
yes.
has been good.
No
Liam
McGovern.
Baker's been
Well,
really
he sort
good.
of replaced Flynn, didn't he, in a sense?
Yes.
you know?
But they are absolutely cooked here with these outs. Few more stats that I just lost. Oh, there we go. West Coast have actually lost 13 away matches. Their last 13 away matches when having a rest disadvantage. So even if that's one day less than the other team had, they always lose. So this one's a bit of a tough
It's
one.
always lose in general, I think.
Yeah, they do. Their odds really reflect that. GWS are $1.03. West Coast $12, the biggest odds of the weekend, but don't jump on them. The best bet this weekend, it's a bit of a big one. This is my biggest, most outlandish one. Lockie Whitfield, 35 plus disposals is $3.40. I'm not the biggest fan of Whitfield, but he really finds the footy. Last 2 weeks, he's had 34 disposals in each of those 2 weeks, which is a tick with tab if you bet on the 35, because he's got 34 and it's the miss by one market. He also plays halfback, and the halfback and wings absolutely feast against West Coast because they're not the best two-way running side. So jump on Lockie Whitfield this week. All right, we've spent way too long in this game because we had a bit of Oscar Allen chat. Give me the tips, boys.
Giants by 80. I think with no McGovern, Hogan could kick 6.
6? I agree with that.
This could get really ugly. I think there's some good signs that, at least against Brisbane, at the Gabba, they remain competitive for 3 quarters at the very least. So I'm just hoping their young guns can show a little bit here and keep it somewhat respectable, although in saying that, I'm still going to go 10 goals.
Yeah, I'm going. I just want it to be the biggest margin because the more I think about this, the outs are horrible. I'm going Jediverse by 90. I think it could even
100. Go on, do it. Go on.
All right.
No,
He's the host.
I'll go 99. 99.
Well, I didn't even tip your own side, and now you're not tipping 100.
Tip responsibly, but no, genuinely, Jediverse could smash them. I thought this could be decently close because they've been putting up fights, but not with those outs. All right, next one on the Sunday, 3:20 is Port Adelaide taking on St Kilda at the Adelaide Oval. Before we get into the teams, I just said the Adelaide Oval. The Saints are 3-16 all time at the Adelaide Oval, lads, and they've lost their last 11 day matches there. So
it's about to be 4-16, boys.
Oh, yeah, because, that's an insight into your tips. Before we get into the tips, we'll let you do Port Adelaide because he loves St Kilda. So
yeah, and there's a huge in for Port Adelaide, probably one that we didn't really expect going through this week. and that is Ollie Lord into the side. No, of course not. Finlayson also isn't in with Lockie Jones, but the big one is Zach Butters.
That's desperation, I reckon.
You guys have actually been funny on today's show. It's been good.
Is he part of that bench or is he actually in the side?
He's in the side.
He's in the side, so he's a confirmed in. So
you know what's happened there? Ken's gone, Zach, you're fit, right? He's like, I don't know. He's like,
in a cast.
Come on, mate. I don't want to get sacked like halfway through this last season.
Sacked as part of a succession plan. Come on, Zach. And he's done it. He's got off FIFA. Did you see that video of him raging against Connor Rozee?
Yes.
Smashing his camera. It was a bit of a throwback, but that was very funny.
Yeah.
And Ivan Soldo, who was a little bit poor last week, gets omitted.
Yeah, and Radagalia's 100th game.
Why do they play Soldo and Jordan Sweet in the same team?
Yeah, Sweet's good.
Yeah.
As well as Radagalia.
I don't mind Jordan
Well,
Sweet.
a dual ruck can work.
Yeah, but not with Radagalia. Radagalia can ruck.
Yeah, you got some part-time tools in there.
Boy, he's not great, though, in the ruck.
But that's why he's a backup ruckman.
True.
lot of
St Kilda, your beloved St Kilda.
There's an handsome in.
Can I say one thing before that?
Okay.
You don't have the Hawks to support this week, so you're all in on St Kilda.
All in on St Kilda.
All in on St Kilda.
Sorry, the handsome in.
The most handsome in, Jack Steele. Welcome back, my fellow handsome man.
Fellow handsome
man.
man.
I shouldn't have said that.
Self-acclaimed.
He's in the same echelon as Jack Steele.
He's in the same tier.
I'm more on the same tier as who else is more like Zach Butters. No, he's not too bad, isn't he?
Jack Higgins.
Jack Higgins, yeah, more like Jack Higgins.
We're not plotting anyone. Let's not do that.
Liam Soccer, Harry Boyd, and Hugh Boxshall to make his debut. I think he's on the extended bench, and we have Liam O'Connell out with
because of Mantle being a dog.
So obviously, the extended bench. This Saints team, though,
I think because Mantle's a dog.
Yeah, no,
that's why Liam O'Connell's out. That's right.
Yeah, look, this Saints team, it's good, mate. It's good.
Let's look at the Saints team. It's bloody good, mate.
It's good. They've won their last 2. I love Caminiti down back. I think he's been really underrated down there. You've got Steele, you've got McRae, the best midfielder in the game.
No,
Jack
that's just
McRae.
not true for Supercoach.
Hugo Garcia, the best tackler in the game, Hugo Garcia. And the prettiest man of all, Jack Steele. That is the best on-ball trio you're ever going to find.
Yeah. Fair enough. I reckon
I agree with that, mate.
I reckon it's going to be a scrap and a half. Port's forward line has been shaky. Saints don't have that many good forward options,
If
in
it's
my
raining,
opinion.
it's going to be a pretty ugly one.
Yeah. Let's get into the odds with Tab. Port Adelaide $1.52, head-to-head. St Kilda $2.55. A lot of really close games in the odds this weekend, so tough to tip, but leaning towards Port Adelaide in this one. My best bet is the under 168.5 total points. I thought that's way too high. Port's last 5 home matches against the Saints have actually been under the total points. Their forward line isn't clicking. They go to Georgiades every single time. He has to kick 6 goals for them to kick 100 points. So I'm really happy on the under here. And the Saints as well. Ross, I know he tries to play a little bit more attacking, but this will be a bit of a scrap. Ken versus Ross, I think, is just going to be a very defensive-focused game. All right, tips and margin, lads. You can go first, Marcus.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be more convincing than what you boys think.
Oh.
I think the Port win this by 34 points at a minimum.
Minimum chips.
At a minimum. Yep.
Minimum
Done.
markets.
I just Port at Adelaide Oval. They're very good at Adelaide Oval. They know how to play the ground. And against St Kilda, who are traditionally very stoppage heavy, they actually have been slightly open in previous weeks. And I think that just with Zach Butters coming back in, a bit of pace in midfield, an extra goal or two in midfield, it's going to help tremendously.
I think the Butters in also helps out Rosie. Because I know Rosie's been a bit up and down.
Hornet.
But
He
then
struggled last week,
And
Rosie.
Hornet as well.
Yeah.
So both of them have been up and down. But then you got another midfielder in there that the defense has to go, oh, crap, we're going to man up on him. We're going to man up on him. So it'll help.
Yep.
Yeah, Leo.
I think St Kilda win this by 14, lads. You talk about Georgiades.
Saints again. Stop tipping the Saints.
You talk about Georgiades being the focal point for Port, and I do agree with that. And I think Wilkie's just going to clamp him. And who else are they going to kick the goals? Like Pal Pepper, can he kick four?
He could.
No, he won't.
He kicked 3 the other week.
Finlayson's coming in. Could he jump in the forward line as a tall target? Radicalia could swing down there, maybe.
Oh, that.
Yeah, you're
I
not
don't
really
mind
filling me
Finn.
with
Yeah,
confidence.
I don't mind Finlayson at
Just
Radical.
watching them against Essendon, I just didn't feel convinced by them. And like, I feel if they need to win this, Butters, Rosie, and Hornet need to combine for 6 goals. Like they have to most weeks to carry them over the line.
Yeah, I don't mind your argument.
Sainers,
But
come on.
Saints are just not good there. I think this will be really close because both teams I don't rate that highly in terms of the 8. So I'm going to go Port by 3 points in this one. It's going to be really close, but pretty low scoring, as I said before. All right, lads, this is the last one, I believe. 5:10 at Optus Stadium, Sunday night. Actually, good for our Sunday show, a bit of an earlier one. Fremantle taking on the Western Bulldogs. They always have really good matches here. I'm very excited for this one. Let's get into the teams. You can go Freo if you want. Marcus, are you ready to go?
Don't forget the daylight savings kicks in as well.
Yes.
On Sunday.
Yes.
So hence the earlier time. But James Aish has been omitted.
Okay. Yep.
For Fremantle. Ins. They got a couple of decent midfield ins, if they want to include them both. I thought one of which being Will Brodie.
You've called for him.
I have called for him.
love
He
him.
was
You did
immense.
say that.
He was immense in pre-season, and just give him a go. Give him a
He's
chance.
on the
'cause-
extended bench. Sorry to break your heart.
I know.
But he was really good. Was it last year or the year before?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, he
Yeah,
was one of
yeah.
their best midfielders. So
Yeah, he
hopefully
dropped off a little bit, and he showed signs of that during pre-season. I know it was pre-season, but hopefully he gets a game here. The other ins include Yago O'Meara, Corey Wagner, and Liam Reddy as well. Brayshaw to play his 150th.
Oh.
And Jeremy Sharp to play his 50th.
See, there's a guy that deserves 150 games. Andrew Brayshaw. I thought he deserves 300 games. He's a beast. So
But Charlie Spargo playing 100? No?
no. But he does have a flag. As
But
Leo
Sean
said.
Atley playing like 250.
I agree that's a joke.
Just bringing up
North players.
Yeah,
North
because he's
players.
having a crack at Spargo. Spargo's won a flag.
Yeah, but
I hope he was
there's
in
a lot
that
of
team.
crap
I hope he
players
was in
that
that team.
There's a lot of crap players that have won a flag.
That is true.
No.
We might have to do a short about that. Bulldogs, Leo, please.
Bulldogs, so no confirmed changes, but Croft, Jones, and Poulter enter the extended bench. Croft would be making his debut if he were to play.
I don't mind Jordan Croft in the side.
Don't
I've heard
think
good
he'll
things
play.
When he
about him.
played pre-season against us, he was playing on a wing, but I think he's
was
playing
he?
forward.
I thought he was a
'Cause he's-
half back.
No, he's 200 centimetres. He's
Yeah,
key
he's a
Yeah, I
forward.
know,
He's
but
tall,
I thought
yeah.
he was like a tall back. Oh,
No,
a tall
mate,
forward.
no, he's a tall
Well,
forward.
they definitely don't need a tall forward.
I think he's got good endurance. That's why they have been playing him on a wing. But they don't need to change their team.
No, they're
getting
going
the
well,
best
yeah.
out of it.
Bevo's doing
Yeah.
really well, as we
They've
touched
got
on.
the Footscray heart. This
They do,
team.
they
The
do.
Scray heart.
Yeah.
It has been a bit different, hasn't it?
And I just think this team is a bit more trustworthy.
In Bevo, you'd hope so.
Like no, like in their performance. Freo, I can't like.
Yeah, you don't know what
as
you're
in
going to
a
add
bit
from it.
Yeah, like-
Dogs have been very consistent so far this year,
Yep.
as in their output. Other than the first game,
The
they were
effort
just
at the
working
very
through
least.
it, and they still beat North, which is not that hard. But yeah, they've been a lot more consistent. Whereas Freo, you're right, Leo. I do agree with. I think Freo at their best should be a lot better than the Dogs,
Yeah.
but they just haven't.
especially.
They haven't really shown their best yet. Even against West Coast, they did enough, but they weren't amazing.
Yeah, they weren't
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
convincing.
Talking about the Dogs, they're actually 4-3 at Optus Stadium in the last 6 years, which a lot of teams have a really
It's a
bad
solid
record
record.
there. So that's a pretty good record. I'm pretty happy with that. The home team as well has won 4 of the last 5 meetings. So Freo will be pretty confident at home, but they haven't been playing that well. So be an interesting one. Looking at the odds with Tab now as well. Fremantle, $1.58. I swear the odds are very similar in all these games. Bulldogs, the Western Bulldogs are $2.40. Now, he's been having an awesome year. He's been collecting 30 disposals pretty much every game, but the odds aren't there for that one. I'm looking at Tom Liberatore to kick a goal in this one. Anytime goal, $3.10. He's kicked a goal in the last 2 weeks. Great roving down forward. I'm surprised that it's $3.10 for a guy that's been great at roving the packs down there. He's literally kicked a goal the last 2 weeks. So the value is there for Libba to kick one. And he gets fired up in these big games to kick one. So why not get on him there?
Imagine what you could be buying instead.
All right. Tips and margin, lads. For the last game of the round, what are we thinking? Oh, you already said.
Yeah,
sort
Dogs
of.
by 4. I just trust
Dogs.
them. I just have that little bit more trust.
Last week was Marcus gone the rogue tips, and I reckon that's you this week.
It's not that rogue.
No, it's not that rogue, this one. This is like 50-50 game, probably.
Yeah, this could go right down to the wire. But I think Freo by 22.
Says it could go around right to the wire.
It could be, though. It could. It could, but I think Freo, they have to show something, and it has to be now.
You do make a good point. Freo are the way to go.
Yeah.
We are the Freo Dockers. No. Freo by 6 points. I knew you guys would laugh at that one. Cringe alert. That's okay. Freo by 6 points. As you said, I reckon this will really go right down to the wire. They just have to win Freo. Otherwise, they're not a champ. Like, everyone tipped them for top 6. Not just top 8.
I top them 4.
So I top 4 as well.
Top 4.
They need to get going at some point, and I think this will be the game, and that's why I tipped them for their best team of the round. You can check that out on the socials as well. I think if they win this, it's a big win because the Dogs have been in good form. So that'd be a good confidence booster. All right, let's get into it, lads. The last few segments here. The big call is the one we got to touch on. The big call. What are we thinking for the big call?
What are we thinking? Who do you want to start with?
We'll start with Leo. I'm a bit nervous about the big calls, as always. We've got to get one right.
From the ball to the goal to the disposal to the pitch.
You said I was great. That is wild. Nah, look.
Tom Powell will be in the thick of the action this weekend against the Swans. Lads.
Sorry.
Give me something.
I love Tom Powell. And for reference, that is his goal song.
He will be in the thick of it this week. 25 plus disposals and 1 goal. He plays well at Marvel. He's got over 25 disposals the first 2 games he played there this season against the Dogs and
he
the
loves
D's.
playing at Marvel, yeah.
And I reckon he can just sneak forward, get a handball receive from LDU straight through the middle, and we'll all be jamming to some KSI.
Unfortunately, we will be jamming because that's his goal song. Wow.
It's not a very good song. I just wanted to just add a bit of liveliness to the show.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, I'm going to show North Melbourne some love as well.
Why is... Oh my God. We're not even going to win.
Why not? I think... I tipped you, so I think there's going to be an upset.
What's Larky's goal song? Can we get him to recreate it?
It's Coldplay, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Viva La Vida?
Ooh.
No.
Get you to replay that because you love that song.
I love that song, yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll go... I'm going to go Larky 5+ against the Swans in a winning side.
I actually really like that because he's leading the goals at the moment. 12 goals in 3 games. A lot of people have jumped on him for the Coleman. I still think he's a good bet, about $4.50 with Tab as well. So jump on him, lads. I don't mind that. Bit of Larky 5+.
I don't mind it.
My big call. Now, I said this before, but I think there's going to be an absolute shootout. Gold Coast versus Adelaide, 200+ total points.
Is that a big call? 200?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
We haven't had 200 in a game this year.
I'll give you 220. Yes,
we have. Adelaide Essendon got 260.
260.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I just want to say,
He's
Alex
making himself look like a fool again.
Hey,
Second
someone predicted, what did Alex
said
last week?
220.
All right, I'm happy to do
220.
Gold Coast.
I'll give you 220.
I'm happy with that.
Who was it? Adelaide North.
Hey,
Adelaide North.
I don't want to argue about it. I'm just happy to
So
work
that's
through
why
it.
I reckon 200. Maybe go
Come on.
210. I'll be happy with 260.
Nah, we're going at
things from you.
220. 220 because
220.
I genuinely think both these teams will score at least 100 points.
I'll give you a half point if it's 210.
Nah, if they'll get 220, it's all good. 220. I think there's just so many good forwards. Obviously, Adelaide have the Thrillers on fire, Fogg's on fire.
Tex kicked 4 last week.
Tex is back into form. I know it was against North. Gold Coast, you got Ben King. Ben Long's in form. Bailey Humphrey's in form. Just going to be goal fests up on the Gold Coast. So get around
Do you
it.
reckon the fatigue could get to them though if it's hot?
Nah, not for Gold Coast. Gold Coast could kick 130 on their own. So we'll see. But
see.
I genuinely think that's going to
What
happen.
if it's pouring down rain?
Yeah. Well, if it's pouring down rain, then I'm a bit
Then you're
stumped.
big call
Yeah.
It isn't. It's not
Go
going
to
to
the
rain.
under.
Nice sunny, 27.
There you go.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jane Bunn. All right, the last one. What are we going to keep an eye on this weekend? I'm not doing Supercoach, so you guys can be happy. Leo, what are you keeping an eye on?
Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah,
That's my first one.
I don't mind that.
Just, I want to see him pick up some form. Actually, no, I don't want to see him do that because he's playing Hawthorn in a couple of weeks. So hopefully after then he can pick up some form. But just want to watch, see if he's getting involved a bit. Where's Scott going to play
Needs to
him?
do better, yeah.
And Petracca, you mentioned you want to see how he goes and he needs to improve.
Yep.
Just think he might be still a bit unfit from when he died last year. So that might have something
He
to do
didn't
with it.
almost die.
He almost died. He
Rip,
almost died.
rip, no.
Yeah, put F's in the chat to pay respects.
The brain rot has entered the show.
Yeah, no, look, I just think they need a little bit more out of him, but can he give it? Can he give it? So we'll see.
Not against Geelong. That's a tough one. Marcus, what are you keeping an eye on?
The D's and Simon Goodwin in particular. I think the pressure's definitely hitting on them. They're 17th. If they head into gather round winless, and then on top of that lose to Essendon and gather round,
if they lose to Essendon, they are cooked.
And then they got Fremantle after that, so they could realistically be like 0-7. And
that's pretty funny.
Simon Goodwin will be put to the sword. They do play Richmond at the G after Fremantle and West Coast, so that could be back-to-back victory.
If they're bottom 6, I think that's like Goodwin gone.
Was it Kane
100%.
Corns that said Goodwin has 6 weeks to fix the team? Because I actually agree with that.
I don't know if it was
I
him,
agree
maybe.
as well. I agree with that as well. But
He has 6 weeks to show.
I don't know
that
if
he's
he
the
can.
man.
you have a look at that team, and you've got even just that midfield: Gawn, Oliver,
their depth isn't
Petracca,
very
and Viney. That's one of the
Younger.
best in the competition,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
So
And
the
to be
thing is-
17th, not good enough.
They do have winnable games coming up. Okay, look, Geelong's probably not a winnable game. They can definitely beat Essendon, neutral venue.
Yep.
They could, who was it? Richmond next?
Fremantle.
Fremantle next. At the G. Like, that is, it's still, like, winnable. They're not out of that. Then Richmond and West Coast.
Yeah.
So, I think, this next 4 weeks even, if they got to win at least 2 of those games.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Agreed.
it's going to be very interesting, Melbourne. I'm keeping an eye on Oscar Allen. Could be a bit shaky this week. I reckon he's going to be just so many
Jittery.
things in his mind. Bit jittery. The West Coast fans are like, do we boo this guy?
No,
maybe we should.
It would have been
boo
good.
him?
I'm
It would have been
tempted.
good to see West Coast versus Hawthorn this week.
Oh,
That would have been big.
that'd been funny.
That
'cause
would've been
even
hilarious.
Harley Reid's been rumoured to go there as well. So just watching him, seeing if he could, because he was horrible last week against Freo as well. They ended up putting him full back,
Yeah,
which was interesting.
I think it wasn't his fault though, a little bit.
No, but
at the same time.
I don't know if
He needs to do more. Maybe he needs to push up the ground and get a few more marks. So I'm watching him. And the other one I want to keep an eye on is Adelaide and Freo the real deal. If Adelaide can put up a fight or beat Gold Coast, then I go, wow, I'll back them for
What's
finals.
like close enough for Adelaide to get? Like
20
if they-
points.
So if they're 20
yeah.
or...
I'll say that they're pretty good because the Suns are known
It's
to
so
smash
tough
teams.
to
up.
beat.
To be the real deal,
No, mate, it's really hard to beat Gold Coast up there. Like Collingwood
they've got to
couldn't,
beat Gold Coast. If they want to be considered real deal, finish in the
They've
top
gotta
4, they're going to
beat-
beat Gold Coast.
It's playing Gold Coast up there is one of the toughest
I agree.
away trips. I don't.
No
think
one
they
won
have
there
to
last
beat
week.
them.
Oh, sorry, only 3 teams won there, but
I don't think they have to.
I reckon that's tough. And the
I
other
think
one,
that's tough.
the
You're being
other-
harsh.
Yeah, but you're saying real deal. I don't think you understand what you're saying here. Like, being competitive is all well and okay.
No, I just
And
mean
that
for
can
the
be
finals.
For the next,
I'm
for
referencing-
finals.
yeah, just for finals. That's what I'm saying. But I know you're saying
we'll
like
keep it
top
close
4.
within a couple kicks.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I think. And then Freo as well. I think if they don't win this week, then stuff them.
Yeah,
Because
stuff 'em.
everyone's predicted them to be really good,
Yeah.
and they haven't
Yeah.
shown it yet. So I'm giving them one more week.
It's a trust test this
One more week. Yeah.
It's like in maths, the trust test.
Oh, I'm calling it from that because I do not want to talk about maths on our show. All right, that'll do us for the AFL Today Show. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, AFL Today Show, AFL Today AU across all the socials. Make sure you subscribe. Oh my God, I'm getting
Make sure you subscribe again.
subscribe, start, and like all of our other shows as well on all the
Yes.
podcast apps as well. That's the Cricket Today Show. We did a bit of IPL, AFLW today. We've got some socials going out there as well with Grace Egan during the week.
Yes.
Hold all tickets, True Bloods. Just I will always talk about their intro. Just beautiful Will Sparks intro. And Honest Beers as well. They're having some awesome guests, and we're going to do a few collabs actually with True Bloods and Honest Beers next week for Gather Round, which will be a lot of fun.
it will be.
All right. Thank you very much to Gerald behind the camera. Thanks, Leo.
Thank you. And I write stay for this week. I'm staying with the company.
You're staying with the company. Oh, that's good. You're doing an Oscar Allen.
maths commitment ceremony. I'm running
Oh my
stay.
God, no more maths.
I think we're too far gone for that now. Mate.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that across.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, team.
Yeah, thanks, Marcus.
Team.
Yeah, team. There we go. That was a bit formal.
We're a team, yeah?
Yeah, why not? And thank you to our sponsors at Tab with their AFL Miss by One. If your disposals league misses by 1, Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Download the Tab app today. What are you really gambling with? See you on Sunday to wrap up all things round 4. That's another episode of AFL Today done. We're out.
Tonight's game's going to be epic.
Missed by 1 on the AFL? With Tab, you can stay in the game. Miss by 1 on any disposals leg, and Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Tab. We're on.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.